The gravel crunched under my boots as I walked back to my truck, shovel in hand. It was a calm afternoon, cool breeze, soft sunlight, the kind of quiet I'd moved here for. Then came the sirens. Not just one patrol car, multiple, engines screaming, tires eating up the mountain road like something was on fire. Through the trees, I saw them flashes of red and blue, a full SWAT team, fanned out in tactical gear, assault rifles raised, shouting commands over a megaphone. I looked down. A garden shovel, dirt on the blade, nothing else. I set it down slowly. This had to be a mistake. And that's when I saw her. Patricia Holloway, standing behind a sheriff's cruiser like she owned it. Pink visor, matching tracksuit, arms crossed, and that damn clipboard clutched like a holy relic. Her smirk said everything. She did this. Before I could speak, a black SUV rolled in fast. Government plates, kicked up enough dust to cloud the scene. A man stepped out, dark suit, sunglasses, and the unmistakable flash of an FBI badge on his belt. He didn't look panicked, just tired. Like this wasn't even the weirdest thing he'd dealt with this month. He scanned the chaos, then asked the nearest deputy, which one claimed terrorist activity. The deputy nodded toward Patricia, who was now waving her clipboard like it had magical powers. That would be Mrs. Holloway, sir. She reported militia activity. Claimed she'd seen underground bunkers. The agent looked at me, then at the half-dug hole in the ground, then back to Patricia. Ma'am, he said, already weary. You just triggered a federal investigation, and not the kind you were hoping for. My name is Jake Morrison. 6 months ago, I left behind a 15-year career in software engineering, sold my overpriced Seattle condo, cashed out some stock, and bought a modest cabin onto wooded acres in Pine Valley. Population, 12 cabins, 2 dogs, 1 gas station. I wanted quiet, simplicity, minimal neighbors. What the listing didn't mention was Patricia Holloway. I met her 3 days after I moved in. I was unloading boxes when she strutted up my driveway with military precision clipboard in hand, smile on her face that didn't quite reach her eyes. Welcome to the neighborhood. She chirped, I'll need you to fill out these forms. Also, your mailbox is 2 inches too high. It should be 42 inches from the ground, not 44. I told her politely there was no registered HOA in Pine Valley. I'd checked with the county before buying. Her smile twitched only for a second, then snapped back into place. Oh, well, that's just a technicality, she said. We self-govern here. It's what makes this place special. And just like that, my personal twilight zone began. Every week, a new violation appeared in my mailbox, complete with official-looking letterhead. She clearly made herself. My firewood wasn't stacked in pyramid formation. My American flag wasn't displayed. I don't own one. My truck was parked 3 inches too far from the imaginary property line she'd drawn in her head. At first, I ignored her, figured she'd get bored. But Patricia Holloway was nothing if not committed. She'd appear at odd hours with a measuring tape, snapping photos like she was building a case for the Supreme Court. Her husband Harold, poor guy, followed her everywhere, carrying extra clipboards and apologizing with his eyes. Then came the root cellar. Simple project, a cool, underground space to store preserves, maybe some wine. I pulled permits, followed the county guidelines to the letter. Patricia didn't care. One morning, she marched over, eyes wild, voice low. I know what you're really building. I blinked. Excuse me? You think you can come up here with your doomsday bunker and your survivalist crap? Not in my neighborhood. I showed her the plans, the permits, even invited her to look at the layout. Didn't matter. Patricia had already written her own script. That week, she started watching me through binoculars from her deck, posted warnings on the community Facebook page about suspicious activity and paramilitary construction. She said I'd been carrying tactical gear. It was fishing equipment. Said I was stockpiling supplies. It was canned soup from Costco. And then, last Thursday, the sirens came. The FBI agent's name was David Park. He listened very calmly as Patricia launched into her conspiracy monologue. Bunkers, weapons caches, suspicious nighttime activities. He let her talk for a while, then asked, How exactly did you come by this information, Mrs. Holloway? She puffed up like a bird mid-mating dance. I have my sources, she said proudly. I accessed the county database, and I found federal registry records proving he's not even supposed to be here. Park's expression shifted, just slightly. You accessed federal databases. Which ones, exactly? That's when she made her fatal mistake. She pulled out her phone and showed him. My nephew's in real estate. I used his login to get into the land management system. This is government land. I saw Park's eyebrow rise. Slowly. Ma'am, he said evenly, you just admitted to unauthorized access of federal systems and false reporting of terrorist activity. Those are multiple federal offenses. The color drained from her face like a deflated balloon. I was protecting the neighborhood. She had no idea what she'd set off to see. My property was linked to federal land but completely legally. 10 years ago, the Department of Energy had partnered with private landowners here for a fiber optic project. My cabin sat on one of those properties. Patricia's unauthorized search had triggered red flags in the system. She hadn't just called the sheriff. She'd accidentally tripped a national security protocol. Park turned to me, double quotes, Mr. Morrison, your permits are in order. You're well within your rights to build anything the county allows. Then he looked back at Patricia, double quotes, Mrs. Holloway. You'll need to come with us. The next few weeks were a legal blur. Patricia was charged with unauthorized access to government databases, filing false reports, criminal harassment, and impersonating an HOA official. Turns out that's a crime when you make up the HOA yourself. Her nephew lost his real estate license, and the rest of the community, they rallied around me. One by one, my neighbors came forward with their own stories. Tom from Cabin 7, cited for having the wrong flowers. Maria from Cabin 3, written up for wind chimes to musical. She'd sent over 300 fake violation notices. In 3 years, called the police 47 times for made-up infractions. Kept surveillance files on nearly every resident. At sentencing, the judge didn't hold back. Mrs. Holloway, you turned a peaceful community into your personal kingdom. You weaponized bureaucracy and paranoia. You wasted $50,000 in emergency resources and nearly got someone killed. The FBI investigation confirmed she'd been spying, illegally, systematically, on everyone. Her defense lawyer tried to frame her as an overzealous neighbor trying to protect property values. It didn't work. The court gave her 18 months in federal prison, 3 years probation, $100,000 in restitution, and a permanent ban from serving on any HOA board ever again. She was also prohibited from contacting any Pine Valley residents for life. The last time I saw Patricia Holloway, she was standing in a courtroom, wrists cuffed, clipboard gone. She looked out at a packed room of former neighbors, people she'd intimidated, fined, harassed, and for just a second, her face changed. Not rage, not denial. Recognition. For the first time, she had no power, no paper shield, no fake title to hide behind. As the bailiff led her away, she whispered, I was just trying to help. It took federal prison to finally quiet Patricia Holloway. Now, the mailboxes are crooked. Wind chimes ring freely. The flowers are whatever damn color people want. And the root cellar, finished, fully stocked. No bunkers, no conspiracies, just pickles, wine, and peace, exactly what I came here for.